want to take? Just give us your overall assessment, please.
Yes, similar again to last year, where we lost it kind of at the death last year. To be fair, been really good games every time we've kind of played Leeds. Kind of both teams probably could have won it, and probably had reasons why they could have won it. I just thought Leeds started to find a little way out of their end a little bit too easily, probably down our left edge, and obviously they got the spoils on the back end of it.
We were just talking with Rowan about how it looked like Leeds kicked on when they were reduced to 12. Would you agree as well?
Yeah, we started to chase it. I think in that period we just spoke about that before. We spoke about it at half time as well, about being patient and getting back to what we were doing, because we'd started really well and we were playing the way we'd trained, to be fair, and it was working. But we just started to probably chase it a little bit, and then obviously Chris Hill forced an offload in that area, so you don't complete a set straight away on him, and that gives him a little bit of energy, keeps the ball from. Then we came down this end, and Kevin Aguirre, I think, got put in touch or made an error. And again, you're just taking pressure off them and putting pressure on yourself, when really, we're down to 12 men, you just need to be patient and put the pressure on them, and we didn't do that. But we defended our goal line. We had a real tough spell just before half time where we had to defend our goal line. I thought the resilience that was shown was phenomenal. It was a great mentality for a defensive team to withstand that. We come down the other end and we get a drop goal, which was really smart by Jake. That should have energised us, but I think it probably took a fair bit of energy out of us and worked the opposite way, to be fair.
At the same time, you're only a conversion away from winning the game. Can you take some positives out of it?
Well, I think there's loads of positives for us. I mean, you look at the games against St Helens and Wigan and this Leeds one, and we knew we were going to build this year, and it was going to take us a little bit of time to get everyone on the same page. We've lost the game there because people started playing individually rather than playing as a team, which hurt us. But the big thing I'd just say is every team playing us at the moment is playing full strength. We seem to be coming up against everyone full strength, or when they're getting players back. You look at the Wigan game, the St Helens game, Leeds are more or less pretty close to their full strength team out there as well. We're kind of a long way of that, and we're facing a fair bit of adversity, but the way the boys are applying themselves is first class, to be fair. So it shows good signs, and there's some tough lessons that some young players will be learning in this game and from the Saints and the Wigan game, which should stand us in good stead for the back end of the year. So you'd rather learn the lessons now than at the back end of the year.
There was a moment, 2.5 minutes left, when Jake Connor drills the ball into touch.
Yeah.
Has he explained what he was thinking?
He just lost track of it, mate, to be fair. He looked over his shoulder, the 18-17, and it's caught him, and he's kind of been caught up in the moment, to be fair. So, listen, we had 2 more good ball sets after that. So we probably could have been a little bit smarter with how we managed the game then in them sets. That was nothing. To be fair, we defended that next set out.
So he thought he was a point ahead?
Yeah, I think so. I've not really had a full discussion with it. He just said I got it wrong. That's it, which he's put his hand up and been accountable for that, to be fair. But it's one of them things, what happen in games when you're under the pump, and Jake's still finding his feet. He's still not fully fit yet, and he's finding his feet. That's a tough game to play in, that to find your feet in, and to be able to have a clear head at the back end of a game, to be able to come up with a match levelling drop goal, if you like.
So another narrow defeat. What do you need to do to turn these defeats into victories now?
We've just got to be a little bit better and a bit smarter in certain areas. I felt in the second half we just started to go away from our processes a little bit, and what happened was they started to get a leg up. They started to get the ruck speed a little bit quick, and what we did, we started to defend individually rather than collectively as a team, which we'd done in the first half. Games test you like that. Yeah, like I say, I'm not too disheartened by it at all. I think we're in a really good position. I knew this year would be a little bit of a slow burner at the start, to be fair. What we can't be doing is saying it's a slow burner in 5-6 more weeks. What we've got to start doing now is picking up some wins as well.
Just lastly for me, just went on Sam Halsall, because he's come into the team, he's stayed in the side, he's taken his opportunity really well, and he was very safe under the high ball as well. How encouraged are you by his progress?
Yeah, I think he's done great, mate, to be fair, since he's come in. He's come in and he's keeping some good players out of the team at the moment. But like we've said before, it's on performance, so it doesn't matter if you're a young kid. If you come in and do your job, you keep your shirt, to be fair.
Thanks, Ian.
No problem.
Ian, just on the close losses, do you look at it and go, we're in the games, and once things, a bit of rub the green, however you want to look at it, we'll turn them around? Or is it a concern that you are just coming up short of quite a lot?
Yeah, you can look at it both ways. I'd like to look at it a little bit more probably positively, that we are in them, and some things we feel could have gone either way. I mean, I'll give you an example. You look at the Cameron Smith. Was it Cameron Smith who scored off the kick?
Yeah.
You've seen them ruled out for offside. Cameron Smith and Sangari look like they're on borderline offside, and you've seen them kind of given. There then looks like there's a challenge in the air, which looks like it's come off the Leeds player onto Jermaine McGilvery. Again, they've gone in. To be fair, if it falls back into Jake Connor's hands and he catches it, or when it goes into Tui's hands, he picks it up, we're not having that kind of discussion. There's just really small moments in games at the moment which decide them. The competition's a real good competition, I think. I think this is the strongest the competition's been with how tight the games are. It seems like the salary cap has kind of finally had an effect, what everyone wanted it to have an effect on, which is making it a tight competition.
Obviously, Will Price and Jake and Tui there, it's the first time we've really seen them be together. Obviously there's Russ as well. How did you make it all?
I thought they did really well. I thought they started really well, to be fair, mate. There's little bits, probably defensively more, that's caught us out. Not the attack's not caught us out. Could have said, we could have been a little bit sharper in certain areas there, but I think defensively what we did probably as a spine is we fell away from what we were good at and we started to defend individually. That's for us to fix up as a group. You don't know until people play together of how they're going to play together. But I thought overall, they were really good. I thought Jake Connor was really controlled in what he did. His kicking game generally was on the money. I know he gave a couple of 7 tackles sets away, but generally he was on the money. We got a reward off Nene McDonald when he dropped it in the first half. That's him putting the kick in the right area. I thought Jake's game's been real good. His game last week against Salford, his kicking game, which he's probably not massively renowned for in terms of the control, he kept turning it over in the pocket all the time and putting pressure on them. So I thought the spine as a whole were pretty good. Maybe we just need to look at it to give us a little bit more control when we're in them tough periods, to be fair. But you only get that through experience. T.O., Oliver Russell, probably would have been perfect in that scenario.
Anyone else? Is Oliver Russell injured or is that...
Yeah, it's on his hammy in training.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We don't know. We're waiting for a scan, mate. To be fair, we've been training on a pitch which is perfect, which was Siddle, and now we're training on a different surface now, and it just goes to show you kind of your quality, your services make a massive difference in what you can put out a weekend. We didn't have one hamstring strain while we were training on the pitch at Siddle. We've moved over here now, and we've had 2 in Ash Goulding and Oliver Russell. There's been other little niggles off the back end of that. Your training facilities are massively important to what you do. People don't really look into it and don't think it is, but it's massively important to what you do.
Have you got a gauge on how long it might be?
It looks bad, mate, to be fair. He's still sore, which is a good sign, which means the tendon's not come off. But yeah, we need a scan, mate, to see where it is, because at the moment that means our 2 main controllers are out of the team at the moment. And that's when we say, like, when people ask you, you're a little bit disheartened or positive. I'm really positive because we've not got our full strength team out by far. We've not got our full strength team out yet for what we envisage it to be. So once we get that, I know we'll be flying, mate.
How long now until Tio's back? It's still a little while.
Yeah, his was a 10-week injury on his soleus, so he's probably week 5, I think, this week. So he's got another 5 weeks, to be fair.
Why are you on a different pitch all of a sudden?
Just because Siddle have had to redo theirs. You have to, when you have a pitch like that, you have to redo it every year. So unfortunately for us, it's fell at this time. I think if Siddle could have held it off, they would have held it off. But this is the best time to get it done and get it finger. Siddle have been great with us, mate. So there's no qualms with that. We just have to work with it.
I think some people have been critical of your attack this season, saying maybe not as expansive. I think you saw, especially in that first half, it is expansive and it is pretty to watch.
Yeah, I think if you watch our games over the last 3 weeks, people have a misperception of how you play. Ours is about giving us options to be able to play and then playing them at the right times. I think since you've seen Jake Connor in, people have noticed that all of a sudden it looks like there's a little bit of ball movement. But that's the structure and that's the system that we play. It's on the players to be able to identify when to play and when not to play, because Jake's an experienced player. He knows when to play and when not to play. He got probably caught up today, but I'd say that's more to do with his match fitness more than anything else. That's got him kind of caught up in that game management.